Hi students, welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. Hope all of you are fine. Stay safe at home. Today we are going to study a new poem, that is A Dog Has Died by Pablo Neruda. Let us continue the topic. Let us discuss something about Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda was a Chilean poet, diplomat and politician. That is, his life period was from 1904 to 1973. That is, Pablo Neruda, his life period was from 1904 to 1973, and he was a Chilean poet, diplomat, and politician. His original name was Neftali Ricardo Reyas Basoalto. Yes, students, please note that name. Maybe one more question may be asked from this area. That is his original name. Pablo Neruda was a pen name of this Neftali Ricardo Reyas Basoalto, and he was popular in the pen name Pablo Neruda, and his original name was Neftali Ricardo Reyas Basoalto, and he was inspired by the Czech poet Jan Neruda. Yes, maybe that's why he got that pen name Pablo Neruda. He was highly inspired by the Czech poet named Jan Neruda. So he was a Chilean poet. That is also a one mark question. That is only one Chilean poet we studied in this paper. That is Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda was a Chilean poet, diplomat, and a politician. And his original name was Neftali Ricardo Reyas Basoalto. And he was inspired by the Czech poet named Jan Neruda. And he was born in Parral, Chile in 1904. In 1917, that means at the age of 13, he published his first essay entitled Enthusiasm and Perseverance in a local daily newspaper. So at the age of 13, he published his first essay entitled. So there may be one more question may be asked, that is his first essay collection entitled, or the title of his first essay collection, that is Enthusiasm and Perseverance in a Local Daily Newspaper. Then between 1918 and 1920, he published numerous poems and essays in various local magazines. By mid 1920, when he adopted his pen name, that is, he adopted his pen name Pablo Neruda by mid 1920. By mid 1920, when he adopted his pen name, he was a published author of poetry and prose. In 1923, his first volume of verse, that is Book of Twilights, was published. Yes, in 1923, his first volume of verse, one more question may be asked, that is Book of Twilights by Pablo Neruda. It was published. And then later, 20 love poems and a song of despair followed the next year. All of you understand regarding Pablo Neruda. Then, between 1927 and 1935, the government put him in charge of a number of honorary consulships, and he frequently traveled around the world. Yes, that is between 1927 and 1935, the government put him in charge of a number of honorary consulships. Consulships in the sense means official appointment by state to live in a foreign city, to project its subject there and assist commerce, etc., like foreign ambassador or something like that. So the government put him in charge of a number of honorary consulships, and he frequently traveled around the world. And for the next 10 years after this 1935, that is for the next 10 years, that is from 1935 to 1945, Neruda was Chile's consul to Mexico and also won the election to the Chilean Senate. Yes, next 10 years, that is after this 1935, that is from 1935 up to 1945, he was Chile's consul to Mexico, like consulate of UAE or consulate of other countries, and like foreign ambassadors. So he was consul to Mexico and also won the election to the Chilean state Senate. In the same year, he joined the Chilean Communist Party. That is in 1945 itself. Yes, he joined the Chilean Communist Party, and by 1948, the Communist Party was under siege and he had to flee from the country. Yes, by 1948, this Communist Party was under siege, means under capture, or in order to capture it by some others, and he had to flee, escape from the country. By 1952, the government withdrew its order to seize leftist writers and political figures, and Neruda returned to Chile. By 1952, government withdrew that ban against these leftist writers and political figures, and as a result, Neruda returned back to Chile. For the next 21 years, he continued writing prodigiously in the sense means enormous, amazing. He wrote a number of poems and prose. That is his work, that is 20 love poems and a song of despair. These two works, both these works are critically acclaimed and translated into many languages. And then after this 1952, he continued his writing. He wrote a number of poems and prose, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. That is an important one. One more question may be asked. He was awarded Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. Please note that Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1971. I think all of you understand regarding Pablo Neruda. Then about our poem. Look at the title. A dog has died. From the title itself, we can understand that is something related with the dog. That means pet dog of Pablo Neruda. And the poem A Dog Has Died is an example of an elegy. To some extent, we can say that this poem is an elegy. What is the meaning of elegy? Elegy means a poem of serious reflection. That means lamenting for the dead person. That is elegy. Here, this poem, that is A Dog Has Died, is considered as an example of an elegy. The poet initially laments the death of his dog. Elegy in the sense means here the poet, that is Pablo Neruda, in the beginning of the poem we can understand or we can feel that the poet is lamenting on the death of his dear pet animal, that is dog, that is his pet dog. But the description slowly begin to carry the impression of praise. Then slowly that mood of the poem changed. That is, description slowly begin to carry the impression of praise. That maybe he remembered the good things of his pet dog. That is, and this elegy that slowly transferred to that tone of elegy slowly moved to the impression of praise. And he talks fondly about the dog whose death has led to his grief and sorrow. Yes, he lost his dear pet animal, that pet dog, and he talks fondly about the dog whose death has led to his grief and sorrow. The poem ends with a final goodbye, that is, say goodbye or bid farewell to his dear pet dog. The poet explores questions of fidelity, relationships, and the meaning of existence in the poem. Yes, with the help of this particular poem, he is trying to explore the questions of fidelity. Fidelity in the sense means loyalty or faithfulness. Then relationships. What is the meaning of the relationship? that is existent in this world, and the meaning of existence in the poem. Meaning of existence, that is maybe human existence as well as other living beings, existence of other living beings. What is the meaning? So he is trying to explore those questions, answers to those questions of fidelity, relationships, and the meaning of existence in the poem. Throughout the poem, the poet takes the reader to different aspects of his dog's personality. As in the initial part, in the beginning, we readers get a feel that the poem is purely an elegy regarding the expression of his grief and sorrow towards the death of his pet dog. Then slowly the mood or the tone of the poem changed to the impression of praise. That is, he remembered the good qualities of his pet dog and he expressed those feelings in his poem. And finally, the poem ends with a final goodbye to his dear pet dog. And with the help of this particular poem, is trying to explore the philosophical questions of or the meaning of loyalty or the faithfulness and relationship, that is between here in that relationship between poet and the dog, and the meaning of existence in the case of human beings as well as other living beings in the world. So he is trying to explore the answer to those questions, and throughout the poem, the poet takes the reader to different aspects of his dog's personality. Yes, from the first stanza up to the end, we readers get a definite idea regarding the personality of the dog, that he explained well regarding his pet dog in this particular poem. I think all of you understand what we are going to study. I think all of you understand about our poet Pablo Neruda. Is a Chilean poet, diplomat, politician, etc. His original name, pen name, then his writings, important contributions, then got Nobel Prize in Literature for 1971, etc. And about the poem, that is, A Dog Has Died, what we are going to study in the I think next session. That is poem. We will continue in the next session. I think all of you got an idea what we are going to study from this part, that is the introductory part. Then there is a homework for you, and the homework is write a summary on Pablo Neruda. Write a note on Pablo Neruda. Yes, write about Pablo Neruda, our poet. Write your homework and send back to me. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you.